I want to on record say this, like, I was making fun of Solana the entire bear run, but I also said I wasn't stupid enough not to buy any because I knew it was kind of come back. Everyone was crowing me crazy for trying to buy Solana there, but I actually thought it was going to go a little lower than, like, I think it only stayed at $9 for a little bit, and it kind of popped off into the teens from there. But I really thought Solana was going to go to $3 to $4. Like, if it followed a traditional, like, like 90% correction or a 96% correction on a coin that's gotten some really bad FUD, which Solana did, obviously. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start my DCA at like $5 and keep going from there. Buy a lot of it there, but it got kind of protected. I think it broke below 10, and then the VC's money that would be like,
yeah,
because it'd be hard. Imagine it got it to $1. Oh dang! It would have been such a struggle to get it above $10 at that point.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Like, I mean, so like during that time, because I'm trying to think back during that time too. So I was working on and I don't even know if we talked about this like maybe like briefly. Like during that time, I was learning how to code using PineScript on TradingView. Because I'm like, I want to be able to, like, things that I was doing by eye, I just wanted to make indicators to just pop up on my TradingView to just make sense for me and just make it easier. So I was just like this thing called like the Hatter that I created. And I've shared it with plenty of people. It's like basically, Heikin-Ashi candles on. I know you're not like, charts well enough, right?
I know charts.
Yeah. So but Charlie's a chartist, right? But like, so something that I noticed about like momentum is like, when you're looking at like the Heikin-Ashi candles on like, let's say like the weekly or like the 3-day chart or whatever the case is, like when you see like 7 or 6 weeks of just straight down, or like 4 or 5 weeks of straight down or whatever the case is, and then that flips to like that first green one after significant weeks of just like bad momentum, typically those are really good pivot points to pay attention to. So like as I'm like learning to code this stuff up, like I get it to just start working like during that time period. And then I got like a signal when it's like, oh dang, Solana, it had a nice little pump back up, but it wasn't at like that low of like 18. It was like maybe like 26. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and throw some. But then I kept using it throughout like the next like 3 or 4 months. And it was in between like $25 and I don't know, probably like 35, 40 for a long time, for a minute. And then it's just like, not going to get down there anymore. So, but like back to the whole thing of like, Solana at some point, having 100 Solana is probably going to be like, okay, I'm glad I have my wealth preserved here. Like you're going to look at it, not so like, oh, let me just pump my bag and get Solana. It's like, oh, I'm glad I have my wealth preserved here. Because like even like how you can get loans against your Ethereum, I'm not saying anybody go get a loan versus like their asset, but like the things that you can do when something gets to a large enough market cap, it becomes that much more valuable to people in TradFi, because people in TradFi, like we know a couple things. They love property, and Michael Saylor's like, Bitcoin is digital property. That's kind of his whole thing and stuff like that. But then the standpoint of just saying it's like, okay, cool. It's like this is just going to carry value versus the dollar. Because if you bought something at a cheap enough price point and hold it long enough, it's never going to hit your cost basis again. Right. So you're just winning, and all you got to do is keep holding.